gonna head 45 degrees to it, and we're doing mountain flying. So this is kind of an aggressive maneuver. We're not flying nice and gentle.
Right.
So keep turning like commercial standard turn, like you're gonna be turning down and away from it.
Okay.
And then we're looking, obviously we've got plenty of altitude, we have it main, now do this diving.
Making a turn behind the float pacer for the root canal and then back to Mount Bradley.
Since I first began flying, I always thought it would be so neat to get my seaplane rating. It has always been a bucket list dream of mine. For many years, I have had an enthusiasm for boating, and of course flying. Combining these two passions always seemed like such a great idea and a fantastic adventure. While at AirVenture 2019, I was talking to my friend Josh, better known as Aviation 101, and I told him I was seriously thinking about getting my floatplane training, and mentioned possibly doing it in Florida. He told me I should absolutely consider going to Alaska instead. He then went on to tell me all about Alaska Floatin' Skis, where he had just come from before arriving at Oshkosh. Josh, since, has made an amazing video of his experience there, and I would highly recommend you watching it if you have not already. I'll be sure to put a link in the description below. My wife and I usually try to plan at least one vacation abroad each year, and we always go to AirVenture. Well, COVID put an end to all those plans. So, after the proper testing and precautions, we headed north to Alaska. Laura was able to get her intro flight in a floatplane soaring over Alaska. Her flight is on my YouTube channel, and I would highly recommend you checking it out. It is seriously the most epic intro flight I have ever seen. And I was able to check a bucket list item off the top of my dream list. After passing my check ride, Sarah was kind enough to set up a just for fun flight where we took off from Talkeetna, did a little mountain flying in the shadow of Denali, and landed on a remote lake. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Alright, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Every time I fly a different plane and then get back in 4-7, it's like, I'm back home.
Back in your girl.
Hey, we can go through cigars or taxi
Sounds
checklist.
good. Watch yourself.
Is in effect for mountain obscuration. Weather reports are requested. Contact Talkeetna Radio on 123.6 for traffic advisories. Advise on initial contact, you have echo. Talkeetna Airport information, echo, time 1956 Zulu, wind 190 at 4, visibility 10, clear below 12,000, temperature 15, viewpoint 10, altimeter 3000, favored runway 19, right traffic, airman is in effect for mountain obscuration. Weather reports are requested, contact Talkeetna Radio on 123.6 for traffic advisories, advise on initial contact, you have echo.
Echo. Alright, what kind of takeoff are we going to do out of here?
It looks pretty glassy today this morning.
I would agree with that statement.
So we're going to go ahead and do a glassy water.
Cool.
I'll let it bring it. Bunch of flaps. Back seats are set except for the briefing. We've got our life jackets on. We're all buckled in good. Operation of the door. Pull up and out if you need to get out. We have our safety equipment in the back and this is a non-smoking flight. Then for our before takeoffs, trim is all set. We're good that way. Mixture good. RP we checked. Gas is on both. Flaps is set for our glassy water, and then we'll just have the water rudders to go.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, I'll just put it back in there like we've done before. Keep it in to the right. Once we're making that turn out, I'll pull up the water rudders, add the full power in, get on step. As we're taking off, I'll just go ahead and do the little hop us off the water with the action. Keep that same pitch level until I get up and away and have reference to the trees, and then I'll go ahead and pitch for the 80 and do the climb out.
Beautiful. And then this whole climb out, we're basically gonna be climbing at best climb, which is 80. We're gonna drop the flaps, but just keep climbing. Because we need to get up to about 75 for the mountain, so.
Alright, sounds like a winner. That'll be the highest I've got so far since I've been here.
So there was anything on your check ride that threw you off, really?
No.
Besides the moose.
The moose didn't throw me off. That thing was like my lucky charm for the day. I knew once I saw the moose, it was all going to be good.
Good, that's awesome.
At that point, it was mine to lose, you know? Because it put him in a good mood as well, so John was pretty happy. He was a little disappointed that the moose didn't have any cubs with it, any babies with it, but
radio, Beaver 121 Kilo Tango.
he really wanted to see the baby moose.
Beaver 121 Kilo Tango, Talkeeton Radio, thanks, no reported traffic.
Good afternoon, Talkeeton Radio, floatplane 7347 Delta, taxiing Christensen, departing to the northwest. We have echo and traffic.
Station 7347 Delta, Talkeeton Radio, thanks.
Alright, my door is shut, my seatbelt is on.
Number 6332 Delta, Talkeeton Radio, good afternoon, traffic is in Beaver, inbound from about 5 northwest, a pacer departing Christensen, lake east of the field.
Should start kicking over now.
Bound. And copy 662 Delta, thanks.
Water rudders are up.
Radio, Water 8765, taxiing out with echo and the traffic and a flight plan. Water 8765, Talkeeton Radio, go ahead. It will be to the Shelter Chalet and back, full power. Out with 2, back with 2, 2.5. Water 8765, Talkeeton Radio, plan activated. Thanks, sir.
Good, really nice.
Thank you.
Delta is mixing up.
Alright, we have reference to the trees. I'll go ahead and start pitching it down to 80. And continuing our climb out.
63 Delta, Talkeeton Radio, thanks, everyone's from Aviation. Have a good flight. Talkeeton traffic, Beaver 121, final 19, Talkeeton.
This heading pretty good for now?
Yeah, for now this is good.
Alright. Got an airplane landing right there.
Perfect.
And safe altitude, safe airspeed, getting rid of the flaps.
And yeah, we'll kind of like give the airport a big wide berth and then head on direct to the mountain.
Okay. Thanks for doing this with me.
Of course.
A fun flight.
Yeah, finally, after all that hard work.
I know.
55 lining up, 19.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Super cool.
Radio, please close 121 Kilo Tango.
This is like a pretty good, from here you can kind of head direct, yeah.
Alright, sounds good.
So from this direction, when they're using 19er, where we're going, we're looking for all the inbound traffic, obviously. Would be coming right at us at this altitude or so.
Okay.
So, just keep a good scan out for all that. And it's kind of a little bit of a cruise to get to the mountain, so it's like enough to settle yourself in for a nice little cross country to the mountain.
Yeah.
What a perfect day up here.
It is
so
beautiful.
Pretty.
Talkeeton traffic side 6332 Delta is going to be departing one-way 19er for a southeast departure.
So we'll have to see if it's clear enough, but when I went here with Laura, we took kind of the lower route up the Ruth, and we just kind of like poked our head up the glacier right there. You can see like the toe of the glacier from here. And we just kind of like poked our head in and went up to where it bends, and then kind of flipped a U-turn and came back down, and then went over over those hills, over to a lake over in that direction. And I'm trying, if it's clear enough, to take kind of the higher route. So you can see a little bit more. The clouds look like they're sitting like just above it, so I think it should be good, but...
Alright. Sounds good. Yeah, Laura's pretty inspired now. She wants to knock out her private and come back and get her seaplane rating next summer, so we'll see.
Yay! It's super exciting.
And I'm going to try to get with my sister and see if I can get her to come up with us next summer.
That would be awesome, yeah.
If not to get her seaplane rating, at least have some fun flying.
Yeah, hang out, some fun flying. That would be really cool. It's always like so much fun when you come up with like friends and family.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you get back from your flight and like talk about stuff and like, I don't know. If she's doing her rating, you guys can all like study together.
Right. Be super cool.
Yeah.
How long were you flying floats before you started instructing in them?
I mean, I kind of came up to Alaska on and off over the course of like 3 years in the summers and just picked up some hours over the course of that time.
A little here, a little there.
Yeah, I did my private, just like add-on, just like anyone else would do when I was 18. And so that took me, I think I got some extra time then. I think I took like 10 hours to get it. So I like went to the school where they're very, very like, very, very rigid down there.
Okay.
So I took some time down there, and then when I came...
More rigid than you? No.
That's why I'm so rigid, because I learned there. That's why I'm like yelling at you on all these flights. Then after that, when I went to get my commercial, at that point I kind of knew this is what I wanted to do. So I did, once I hit the hour count, I came up and did my initial commercial in a 172 float, which was extremely challenging, doing lazy eights and Sandels and a float plane. Like, this is the most stable of all of our float planes, and it still can be a little ruddery.
I couldn't imagine doing commercial maneuvers in a float plane. Wow.
Yeah, it was, I would not recommend it. The only reason it was good for me is because it helped me build hours towards this career that I really wanted to do. And I had a really, really awesome instructor down at Moose Pass that was very patient. I don't know if I would have the patience to do that for someone else, because it's, you know, all those maneuvers are all about good rudder control, and these things are just a beast to handle if you're not like, if you're a young pilot who hasn't been exposed to a whole lot of like ruddery airplanes. So that's where I built a whole lot of more of my time, because that took a second to get comfortable doing that.
I can imagine.
And then when I worked at Lake Hood, picked up a few more hours here and there. I was just like around, getting to know people. You'll see after this flight, you're going to be so inspired to come back, because getting your rating is just, it just opens the door, and then you're like, wow, there's so much more to go do up here. I don't just have to sit in the pattern at Rockies, I can actually go and have fun.
And what a place to do it. This is just paradise, literally paradise, so beautiful. As soon as you take off, you've got scenery.
Yep.
It's really neat.
And this is the whole, kind of why I wanted to go poke our head up into the mountains a little bit, because we have such a unique playground to talk about mountain flying up here. And I kind of like to like throw in a little mountain flying with the float course if people are like interested, because it's like, I feel like when you're like a student pilot and younger, you learn about mountain flying like in theory.
Right.
But like you're either flying, and then you get to the point where you're flying through mountains, but you're in something big enough that you can just like climb over them. So it's really cool to like learn all these techniques up here in a place where you can't outclimb the terrain. You do actually have to like fly by the principles that you're taught. Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yep.
And Juliet 6,500 coming up on Petersville for 747. 765, Ruth Icefall, right side up, 5,300.
That's that 747 pass that was on the map that they're referencing. That's kind of cool. That's a cool name for a pass.
Yeah. That's the altitude that you have to go through it at.
Ah,
74.
is that where it got its name from that then, eh?
I mean, don't quote me on that, but
Yeah.
that's the story I've heard. 47 Delta's big bend to the roof for Floss Pass, climbing through 6.5. So when we're coming up on this pass, and we'll see, I think we've got plenty of cloud clearance up there. But one of the things we're going to be looking for to make sure we have enough altitude to get over this pass is you're going to look at the relative horizon to the pass, the close terrain that you're looking at. So if this is our pass here,
Right.
you want to look beyond it and watch what that terrain is doing. Because up here, with everything being so huge, it can be really easy to kind of lose your sense of perspective.
Okay.
What you're looking for there is if you're seeing more and more of the terrain back behind you, you have plenty of altitude to get over it. If you're seeing less and less, you're seeing the terrain behind you disappear.
Right.
That means you need to use your avenue escape and turn away and get more altitude. So part of that too is you might have entered this pass with enough altitude, hit a really heavy downdraft, and you're focused elsewhere. Maybe you don't even realize it, but suddenly you don't have enough altitude. The plenty of you want to be looking at that perspective. And then if you did hit that really heavy downdraft, you always want to be able to turn away from the pass. That's why you don't want to cross the pass head on, just fly straight over it.
Right.
Because then if you're just about to cross that, you've got that big heavy downdraft coming on at you, that could fly right into the hillside. So the way we're going to approach it, if this is our pass here, we're going to basically do a big lazy S-turn over it. So we're going to come at it turning like we're going to almost fly parallel and turn away from it. We're always going to plan on turning away from it. And then once we're kind of parallel to the ridge line, if everything's good, winds are calm, we have plenty of altitude, then when we commit to the turn, we're going to do kind of a dramatic diving turn over it. We want to pick up a little extra airspeed if we can.
Okay.
The extra airspeed is there for if you hit some really violent turbulence or something on the other side, you have a little bit more airspeed and energy to work with.
Got it.
And I think from here, we'll go over that pass and down over on this far side of this valley.
So this one right here?
Yeah, we'll go, so the pass is still right off our nose.
Okay.
We're gonna go through it, and then go.
Traffic, Gray Skyhawk at the base of Ruth Glacier, 5,500 northbound.
Flight RTC conductors outside the bend of the roof for now. Search for 7 foot.
It's so beautiful up here, isn't it? It's always out in all of its glory today.
So amazing. Some of the water pockets down inside the glacier, just so blue. You look right down, not the dirty spot there, but like right down.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
Yep. It's a really cool area. It's so cool how like everywhere you look, it's just more and more glaciers. It's all glaciers up here. Are you getting cold again? Or are you good?
I'm a touch cold, but it's
Alright.
bearable still, so we're good.
We'll do this pass, and then it'll be all downhill. We'll start descending. We can also just beeline for the lake too, if you would prefer that.
I'm good. I'm enjoying this right now.
Okay, good. You're so quiet, I couldn't tell.
I'm taking it in. There's just like, wow. So much splendor, right?
Alright, we're gonna keep climbing. That's our pass right there with those little bit of clouds sitting over it. We'll keep climbing just a bit. And you're gonna pretty much head for that rock mountain.
Like here?
Yeah, you're gonna head to the left of the gap, because remember, we're kind of gonna head...
Juliet, 7,000 coming up on back
Oh, okay, I see where you're going.
Glacier,
Kind of
the 747 fast.
sliding up here, and then we'll cut to the right?
Yep, and then so that would be our avenue of escape. We're gonna head for that way, and plan on basically turning down this glacier and like turning away from the path.
Got it.
But if everything looks good, then we'll turn into it.
Has climbing this mountain ever interested you, or is that not your thing?
climbing Denali?
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's very
I know
expensive.
Missy did it and talked about it and everything. I just don't know. I mean, it sounds cool, but that's a big commitment. Like, I think flying over is pretty cool.
I agree.
I can fly over it, see it, and then leave, you know? But,
Yeah.
wow, it's so pretty. What a shot. Look at that.
I think we're gonna head 45 degrees to it, and we're doing mountain flying, so this is kind of an aggressive maneuver. We're not flying nice and gentle.
Right.
So keep turning like commercial standard turn, like you're gonna be turning down and away from it.
Okay.
And then we're looking, obviously we've got plenty of altitude, we have it main, now do this diving.
Making a turn behind the float pacer for the root canal and then back to Mount Bradley. For the light ought to be cutting back from the root canal area towards Bradley from east of Celestish at 8.
Alright, float plane 47 Delta is descending out of 8, we'll be going eastbound out of here. Alright, we're just gonna head down this way. Ooh, we're gonna go down over this direction.
Alright. So basically right towards that valley there?
Yep.
Juliet 747 east to west, or west to east. We'll be coming in at 747 left turns upriver.
And you can start descending.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you kind of that path. Let's play a little taste of our bush course. And now we'll go back to doing float stuff. We'll get this float plane back down to the altitude it likes to be at.
Like, what did you guys do to me today? That was neat. That's super cool through the path like that.
Yeah, so when we do the full like mountain flight, we hit a couple passes like that. And you can kind of hug some of these hillsides here too.
Okay.
Hillsides, I'm calling like 15,000 foot mountain hillsides. We are cruising, and you can see our destination.
Yankee Victor Outer is cutting in front of 747 for pit-off and then mid-amp base 5.
We're under that lake way out there.
Oh, okay. Perfect. The name of this lake is what?
This is Stink Lake.
Okay. We'll still just hug kind of the right side of this as we're coming in.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Denali traffic, Gray Skyhawk, 8,500 base of the Great Gorge.
You're not going to get this experience getting your seaplane rating anywhere else.
That is very, very true. There is nowhere else to get your seaplane rating where you can see this. I was like looking at these little alpine lakes up there, like way up at altitude.
We get a little to the left of it, and I'll just bank a little to the right when we get over it.
Alright, sounds good. Let's do your woods checklist. Do you think we can land there?
I wouldn't. Just a tad bit short, and the elevation's a little high for me.
Only at 4,000 feet now. We're chilling.
We're down low, just chilling.
I still can't believe this is my job, like every day.
This never gets old.
And then Juliet, overhead, Sheldon Chalet through the gateway. Will be left turn towards the gargoyle.
This is such an awesome job, because like, the flight we're doing right now, I've never done this flight before. Like every flight, you can like piece together new things, so that every flight is like a new flight. You see something new every time.
Makes each experience unique.
Yeah.
Every flight's new and fresh. Not like the same boring thing over and over and over again.
Yep. Alright, so this guy like, it tends to get a little bit more choppy up in here, just because it's kind of down here in a bowl. We'll go kind of over and circle it, see what the winds are doing. And then I anticipate potentially using this as our final corridor in this little river. But we'll double check the winds and make sure they're blowing the way we think they might be blowing.
Right. I would say, yeah, the winds are kind of coming right up through here, right? And as far as our obstacles, I don't see anybody else on the lake right now. I don't see any like docks or anything like that. Looks plenty deep all the way across here. And then as far as size, got a nice little length here.
Alright, go ahead and flip around and enter a downwind landing to the south.
Alright, sounds good.
And from here you can start judging your descent a little bit once you have your
Alright.
landing decision made.
What is that? Just a rock jutting out into the water there?
Yes, yeah, that's a rock.
That's the only thing that I really saw out there, but that's plenty far down.
And then usually I like to go over this little, that little golf course looking clearing.
Okay.
And turn my base and then follow that little river back out.
Alright, sounds like a winner. So gas is good, water rudders are up, mixture is set. We did the carb heat and flaps are set as well.
Perfect.
Try to get Mike's over highway camp, mid-Scotia, 4.5. Hi, Ruth, Icefall, 5,500, dollar gap.
And maybe if you have enough room you can land and stay on steps afterwards.
Okay. Looks like the wind's kind of right out of here. We'll line up with that.
Alright. And power in to get unstuck. More power, more power. And if we're turning, we'll do that left-hand turn.
Alright.
And power coming in through the turn, keep that power in.
Yeah, my nose is rising up a little bit. I'll shallow it a
Go
little
ahead
bit.
and straighten out, add a bunch of power. Get it back on step. Perfect, now
There we
reduce
go.
your power to sped, nice. Yeah, reduce your power, you're good on step now. Oh, just look back over there. Wow, look at that view. Nice. Yeah, it can be hard after a normal landing because you're already like slowed down to get it back up on step.
Took a little bit of work, but I think finally it was there. Start slowing it back.
You keep going a little further.
Alright.
Right about here is good. Power back, yoke all the way back in your chest. And clean up the flaps, water rudders down. And we're gonna beach it, pointing straight at that cabin over there.
Alright.
Headsets can come off.
After flying over glaciers, being introduced to some real mountain flying techniques, and landing at this serene location, we just took a moment to take in the surreal setting that is Alaska. In my next Alaska video, we take off, do some low-level flying down the river, spot some beautiful wildlife, and finish it off with a glassy water landing back at Alaska Floatin' Skis. If you have liked this video, please smash that thumbs up, leave a comment below. I always enjoy reading your feedback and make a special effort to respond to every comment. Please set your alerts and stay tuned for more videos like this. Until next time, I hope you have meaningful days that bring you a step closer to your goals.